They're like, you can come get it after school. And I was like, so after school I went, right? But then I was looking through my bag and I was missing a masapan. This fucking fat bitch said, you can't be selling, but like, I'm gonna take one.
I was at the airport and there was this old ass fucking lady next to me and she was reading I don't know how to say the acronym.
Avatar?
She was reading those and I was like, what's up, guys? Welcome back to His Podcast. My name is Oscar. This is my sister, Sophia. This is our podcast. It's called His Podcast, HTS, no I. This is a special edition episode for two reasons. One, we're both here in the same place. Oh. Two, this is, I'm thinking of calling them vaulted episodes because we're recording this during a point in time where my job
sucks big balls.
And it doesn't allow me to post podcast episodes, so I need a new job.
Yeah.
So if you're actually seeing this, it's because I got a new job.
I got a new job.
And then we're going to go back to posting like on the regular schedule that we had.
Yeah.
So we're recording it, but we don't know when it's going to be posted. Like it's kind of just like up in the air about like at some point.
We'll see.
Anyways.
Yeah. Or you won't see. Want a grape?
No, I don't want a fucking grape. You already touched it. Get away from me. Anyways, Sophia,
okay.
What did you want to talk about today? Fuck, there was shit that was happening. I like how I asked you and I didn't even fucking listen.
I know.
There was shit that was happening yesterday or the day before and I wanted to write it down and talk about it today and then I didn't and I knew I should because I was going to forget and now I forgot. Wait, no, I did write it down. Hold on. Close your eyes. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Okay, I remember.
Okay, what's up?
Do you have anything to talk about?
I have literally one thing to talk about that's been like on the list for like, that's like months, like even before, but like it just never got brought up.
So do you want to talk about it or not?
It can be.
Okay, that's a no.
It's a timeless.
I've discovered something, guys. Sophia works in the medical field, right? Now, Sophia was not a big nerd in high school. Sophia was like, she was just a regular kid, right? But me and our older sister were fucking nerds. So it was kind of like Sophia looked like she was like a slacker. Not like a slacker, but like she was just regular.
In comparison to them, I was the disappointment.
She was just regular, but we were fucking nerds, like nerdy as fuck, right? For like everything. And Sophia was just regular. But then she got out of school. She went to fucking do this shit. Well, she got out of high school. Got out of school.
I heard I got A school.
Anyway, shut up. She went to go to school to be a stenographer. She became this huge fucking nerd that studied for everything and made cards for everything and fucking chewed mint gum because it helps you remember what you're studying and all this fucking shit, right? And now she has a job at a fancy hospital. And now Sophia is becoming this fucking nerd that like is like not health conscious, but health conscious about everything. And she fucking tells us like, oh, make sure you this or make sure you that or don't do this because it's bad for that and all this shit. And I've determined she's gonna be one of those nerd fucking moms that like doesn't let her kids eat junk food and like makes them eat rice cakes and bullshit like that.
Why rice cakes? He's had this conversation with us before.
And I keep saying rice cakes.
And you keep saying rice cakes.
Because rice cakes suck dicks. And they're stereotypical of moms that like fun little snack for her kids. Look, they're so good. You can put peanut butter on them. And they suck. That's
okay, but like actually, I've had rice cakes with no. Listen. Anyways, rice cakes, but it's only for like the crunch. It's not for the actual flavor.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Because who cares about flavor?
Because I put the rest of the flavor. Anyways, you make some guac, but like I'm picky. Geez. Listen, I'm picky with like vegetables, so I just have the avocado, mash that shit up. Put lemon in there, some salt, you know?
Lemon or lime?
Lime. Lemon if I don't have lime, but lime. Mash it up. I put that on there. I get cottage cheese. I put a layer of cottage cheese on there. And then I get an egg. And then you can either like boil it. Usually
so just avocado toast, but with rice cake?
No, with cottage cheese and egg on there. And it's so good.
But with a rice cake instead of a toast.
Sure.
Fucking loser. Anyways.
It's good.
Yesterday, I was brushing my teeth, and my dad was like, you need to brush your gums too. Do you brush your gums? And I was like, I kind of do like on the edge.
He has fucked up
And
gums.
he was like, no, I don't. I kind of do like on the edge. And he was like, nah, you need to like get up in there and like fucking brush your gums for real. And then Sophia's all fucking, but make sure you use a soft bristle brush so that it's not too rough and all this shit. And I was like, Sophia, you know who you sound like? You sound like an old fuck nerd motherfucker loser that doesn't have any friends, like someone I know, right?
The difference is I actually have friends.
Nuh-uh. She has one. Anyways.
I have more than one friend.
Nuh-uh. Anyways, I was like, bro, how many 23-year-olds even know that the bristles of a toothbrush come in different, like varying levels of firmness?
Do you know why I know?
How many people know? How many 23-year-olds know?
At least one. I don't know however much.
Exactly. That's my point. So
No,
she's starting to know all this nerdy shit. And I was like, ugh, like get the fuck out of here. The same way she tells me, right? Because I know what fucking pot fillers are. And then I was like, oh, you're going to be one of those moms. Because she's becoming this person in her early 20s. And so it's just going to get worse. Like, she's going to be a farmer. Like, I've already
he
called it.
He keeps saying I'm going to be a farmer.
Anyway, she just recently started making sourdough.
Ugh.
She's going to be a farmer. And then she's going to have kids. And then they're going to be fucking losers that know what soft bristle toothbrushes are. And all this shit.
The only reason I know what soft tissue bristle... Whatever. The only reason why I know that is because this fucker went to the dentist. And dentists were like, let me look at your teeth. Those gums are kind of fucked up.
What the fuck was this?
They were looking at your lip.
Grab my fucking lip.
They're like, that's kind of fucked up. You need a floss, you dirty bitch. And so he was like, oh, yeah, I need to, like, take better care of my gums or whatever. And so for Christmas...
Apparently flossing's important, right?
And so for Christmas... I got him a toothbrush, an electrical one or whatever it's called, the ones that bzz, bzz by itself, you know? And all he has got to do is like, so I looked into like what would be a good like toothbrush, and that's why I know.
You did research on toothbrushes?
For you.
Nerd. You know who else researches everything they buy? You know who else knew what a soft bristle toothbrush was when they were 23? You got 2 years to learn what a pot filler is.
Hey,
anyways,
the only difference is
a fucking nerd, and she's becoming more of a nerd, and she's gonna be a nerd mom whose kids are losers and don't know what McDonald's is.
I thought it was already established I was a nerd because I like to read.
You know what I saw the other day? No, that would be, but no, that's another. I've said about Sophia for a long time because Sophia reads, like her reading is one of her hobbies. And it's been a hobby for a long time. And it's like a major hobby. Like, she fucking reads a lot, right?
I have 2 bookshelves filled with books.
Not all of them are read. Anyways.
You don't tell them that.
Anyways, this fucking guy, for a long time, she reads all sorts of shit. And then I used to make fun of her. I'm like, bro, how do you read so much and you still don't speak English properly? Like, you still don't know how to say certain words. Or you don't have, like, this expansive vocabulary and all this shit. But it's
I have the vocabulary in my head, but because I read it, I don't know how it sounds like. So, like, let's say it's like Parmesan, right? Let's pretend that we don't know how to say Parmesan, okay? And you're reading it, and in your head, every reader will know what this is, okay? You know, okay?
If you don't know how to pronounce a word, you just come up with a way to pronounce it.
In your head, that makes sense.
And then that's like, the way every time you see that word.
And so whenever I try to use smart words that I learned in books, I use them properly, but I say them wrong. So now I don't.
Bro, you know you can Google words and press the little speaker and it'll tell you how to say it.
Why would I do that?
To know how to say it?
No, but if I'm in the vibe,
it's very simple.
Who's gonna put down? Who's like in this fucking fantasy world or whatever book you're reading? Okay, and it's like, oh my god,
bro, how can you enjoy it if you don't know what the word means?
It's very easy. You use context clues. Anyways,
no, it's
you're reading, and you're like, oh my god, the dragons are flying over. Oh my god, I'm about to die. Word you don't know. Let's put a pause on this death scene that's going on right now. Let me get my phone. Take myself completely out of the world.
How are you supposed to know?
Take myself completely out of the world, learn the word, and then go back.
That's not that hard.
No, it fucks up.
How are you supposed to really know what's happening if you don't know the word?
he's a self-help book reader, and it's showing right now.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
First of all, I read more business books than self-help books.
Oh, so much better. My bad.
And so that's the thing. Sophia reads a bunch of fantasy shit, and she doesn't read things that'll make you smarter, right?
Yeah.
Where were we going with this?
I don't know. You're the one who brought it up.
Actually,
no
hold on.
No,
you
hate,
hold on.
No hate to self-help books. It's just
She's hating. She's hating.
No, not actually.
No. Sophia's a book nerd like that, where she actually like you know how like real music nerds will shit on other genres and shit on people that like other genres and shit like that. That's the type of book nerd.
No, I just don't read it. But
she
like, no hate to you.
You.
It's just fun to joke about.
Nope, she hates you. Anyways, speaking of books, I don't know if I brought up books or if you brought up books, but the next topic that I was going to mention from my notes has to do with books.
Whoop, whoop.
I was at the airport. I don't remember when, but on my notes it says I was at the airport. I was at the airport, and there was this old ass fucking lady next to me, and she was reading I don't know how to say the acronym, so I don't want to say it. I don't want to have you laugh at me.
Akatar?
She was reading those, and I was like,
bro!
In public, bitch?
No, like that's a fine book to. No. See, like if she was reading, there's
worse.
There's way worse books that's like in public. If you see like a cute little cover with like a hockey player on there, like with a little thing, she's reading porn in public. Okay?
That's the type of shit. And
Avatar's not that bad.
You remember the fucking Big Mouth episode where they're all reading what is it, the Rock of Gibraltar or whatever? And all the dudes are finding out that all the girls are just reading porn casually in fucking public and shit. Anyways, she was old as shit. And she was reading that book. And I was
Pop off.
Ugh.
I want to be her when I'm old. That's what I aspire to be.
Anyways, I thought that was hilarious.
That is hilarious. No, but Avatar's not one of the, like... It's not one of the bad ones.
And
now, if she was reading, like, Haunting Adeline...
Going back to being old, you guys tell me who in the comments knows what a butterbell is. Shut up. What is it? If you're answering, I guarantee you're over 30. Anyways, Sophia fucking knows.
I do know.
Speaking of being an old fuck, I've already told you this, but I want to say it on the podcast because I want it to be like official for the public. We've talked a lot on different episodes about me being an old loser that doesn't have friends, right?
No.
Or like an old soul that like knows shit that normal 25-year-olds don't know.
No, right? An old loser who doesn't have
Fuck
friends.
You call me an old soul.
I did actually.
Sophia's becoming that type of person too, as you guys will see. But anyways.
No, that's the last one.
I'm gonna be all sticky.
My great. My Shayla.
Who the fuck is Shayla? You keep saying
You're
that.
so fucking old. This is why I think he's old, okay? He doesn't get it.
Oh, it's like a trend or something. It's just like audio. Anyways. So, we talk a lot about me being an old fuck, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny, but it also hurts my feelings. But it's okay.
Just the face I made when
yes,
you
I saw your face. Like, I'm not allowed to have hurt feelings. Anyways. Here's the thing. Lately, I've been collecting some overwhelming evidence. Overwhelming. That I am, in fact,
an old fart.
Becoming an old fuck. You know why?
You don't know what my Shayla is?
No. I've already told you this, but you're going to laugh again anyways. You know why?
Why?
I keep laughing at my mom's jokes.
Yeah.
I keep laughing at my mom's jokes. Now, here's the problem. My mom isn't funny.
That's foul. I'm sorry, Mom.
I
don't know where you went wrong with this one, but I'm sorry.
History of not being a fan of my mom's sense of humor. And she knows this. And here's the thing. I don't see it so much as she's not funny or I don't like her or this or that. I think we just have different senses of humor.
No one brought up you liking her or not.
That's how she feels. Anyways.
That's fair. Yeah. Never mind.
And so the thing is in my head we just have different senses of humor, and that's okay. But I'm not gonna laugh at some shit that I don't think is funny, right? And I'm kind of just like, you're old and uncool, and you don't know what funny is, right? It's kind of how I played off. But then I was here for a little while, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she kept saying shit And it kept being hilarious. And I'm like, I don't believe that she is getting funnier. You know what I mean?
You're just
Like,
understanding
I don't
it
believe.
now.
I know, no. I'm just devolving. Is what's the opposite of evolving? Devolving. I think it's devolving. I'm regressing into this old loser that now thinks mom is funny. You know what I mean?
You're such an asshole.
Not old loser, but I'm getting like, you know how dads are like make like corny dad jokes, but it's because they're dads
Yeah.
and they used to be cool.
You
Or
don't
that
even
whole
got no
like
kids.
that whole like lore thing about like your dad before he met your mom, and then it's all sorts of cool tough guy shit, and then he met your mom and they got married and now he's a bitch. Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
That type of thing. But like
now you're a bitch?
No, like I'm getting old and I'm losing my cool youthful sense of humor. That's what I think it is.
Because you're not on TikTok enough.
Anyways, my mom keeps saying shit and I keep fucking laughing.
And that's how he knows he's old.
That's how I know I'm getting old. You know what I mean? Because I keep laughing my ass off. Not even just like, that was good. No. Like, and I'm trying to think of some examples, but I can't think of a whole.
I feel like when you get put on the spot, like what? Like,
well,
it's always
I mean, I can think of one, but it's not that funny. But I laughed. But that's the problem. Exactly. It's not that funny, but I laughed. You know what I mean? Anyways, so
I'm not at that stage yet.
Hold on. I was here, right? And my mom texted me and she was like, hey, can you go move Edgar? Because he keeps setting off the Ring camera. Because the Ring camera can detect when someone's there and then it'll fucking notify you and give you a live feed of the front door, right?
Right.
My mom texted me. She was like, can you go move Edgar? He's setting off the Ring camera. And I was like, who the fuck is Edgar?
Yeah.
Edgar.
Oh.
You fucked that up. Anyways, who the fuck is Edgar?
Yeah.
And she goes, my scarecrow.
Yeah.
Because she has not that scarecrows are real. Well, I mean, I
it's
guess
a
they
real
are.
Scarecrow.
No, there are real ones that are in fields that actually scare crows. This one's fake, suburban. Like, anyways, there's a little scarecrow that my mom had by the door for like Thanksgiving, fall decoration, whatever. And I was like, who the fuck is Edgar? And she was like, my scarecrow by the front door. And I was like, why the fuck is he named Edgar? And she goes, Edgar Allan Crow.
Yeah.
You're not laughing. I doubt you're laughing. I laughed a lot. And I texted her right then and there. I was like, fuck. Did you come up with that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, fuck. I'm laughing a lot. But it's because in my head, that's how she said it. Edgar Allan Crow.
Yeah.
But like, I hear it in my mom's voice.
Yeah.
And it just sounds funny to me. Anyways. If you go to my Instagram, I have a picture with the homie Edgar.
See.
You're going to fuck that up.
No, I'm not. I just want to see what's inside.
What the fuck is going to be inside?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be something like this or if it's like cotton or like.
Cotton.
Not cotton, but like, look, this is like another.
Anyways, who cares about that? Do you have one?
Anyways, Oscar thinks that I'm turning into him, which is hilarious because I have way too much social skills to actually turn into him.
But you are,
that's
anyways, because you're out there alone.
No, and
you're gonna lose your social skills because they're like running out. You know what I mean? Or they're like wearing away.
I already have a friend there.
So do I. I have his phone number and everything.
Have you guys hung out?
No.
Yeah. Anyways. Sounds like he got ghosted. But no.
Anyway.
Besides, I can get away with it because I'm a hot girl, okay?
Nah.
People won't be like,
she's a nerd.
She has old.
Are you kidding me, bro? That's a terrible argument. Some people would dislike the fact that you were a nerd. Because it was like, Anyways.
I didn't say that they wouldn't dislike it. I said I could get away with it.
Yesterday, I got a haircut with the homie Ismael, right?
You're doing such a bad job of showing off.
I'm just showing this part. If I take it off, then the mic is going to move and it's going to sound like shit. I got a haircut yesterday. With the homie Ismael, right?
Yeah.
And we were there. He's my cousin Coco's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got a haircut. And we were there hanging out with Coco.
Yeah.
And Coco was telling us a story about some bitch, right? And
yeah.
we were like,
fuck that bitch.
Damn.
She's crazy.
But then also we were like, damn, Coco, you should maybe chill a little bit, right? Let me tell you another story about Coco being crazy.
Oh my God. You're not crazy, Coco.
Her brother was telling us, because he works in a detention center.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just asking him a bunch of questions like, oh, do you ever have to fucking talk to the prisoners? And he's like, yeah, we talk to them all the time. Like almost like they're just homies. Like they just make jokes and shit and whatever. And they're like, oh, do you ever have to do this? Or like, what's that? Or like, what happens with this or that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were talking about, like, do you know why the prisoners are there? Like, do you know what they did?
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, like there was this one person that did this. There's this one person that did that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, there's this one chick. She found out her boyfriend was cheating on her. So she fucking stabbed him a whole bunch of times. And now she's in jail.
He ran into my knife.
He
ran into my knife 10 times. He had a gun. Okay,
Oh.
keep going, yeah. Yeah, you fucking...
I know the song. Anyways,
Mm.
he was like, she stabbed him a whole bunch of times, and now she's in jail. And we were like, what the fuck? And then she was like, because he cheated? And he was like, yeah. But like, and he was like, she had a boyfriend, and he cheated 30 times, she stabbed him. And then we were like,
God
hold
damn.
on. He cheated 30 times, or she stabbed him 30 times?
She stabbed him 30 times.
And he was like, she stabbed him 30 times.
Yeah.
And Coco was like, for every time that he cheated?
She's like, period. Hold them accountable. Oh my God. Did they have a kid together?
I don't fucking know, Sophia.
You didn't ask?
No.
You don't ask the good questions.
Why? Why would we ask that question? So we can find out whether or not the kid's in a fucking home?
No, because then
Anyways.
it makes her less crazy.
Anyways.
Okay.
Coco was like, for every time that he cheated, like,
Yeah.
making sense of it.
Yeah.
Because she's like, that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Should have thought that shit through.
I thought it was hilarious.
That is funny. Guys, I smell like a boy.
Oh my God.
I'm so sad. Because listen, we're both in our hometown from out of town, right? And I flew with American Airlines this time. And I never fly with American Airlines. I always fly.
She's rich now. I wasn't high-fiving you.
I
was waving you off as rich.
I always fly with Southwest. But where I'm at, like, I have to drive like an hour and a half to get to like a bigger airport
to fly Southwest.
And I'm like, man, fuck that. It's like icy. That's scary. I can barely drive. You think I could drive in the snow? The answer is no. Okay. Anyways. So I flew with Americans. But with Southwest, you have a free, like, you can check in luggage, like, it's included, right? But with Americans, you have to, like, pay for it. And I'm like, ugh. He's saying I'm rich, but I'm like, brother, I'm not trying to do that. Yeah. So I didn't bring, like, any of my shampoo, conditioner, like, anything. So I was like, it's okay once I get here, because I have, like, several other trips back here. So I'm like, it's all good. Like, I'll just buy something here, keep it in my mom's house. And then when I come back, I can use it, right? And so I went, and then I got the same brand that I usually use. But I was like, I'm going to try another flavor. It's not flavor, it's a scent. I keep calling it a flavor. Anyways, I'm going to try another scent because, like, I want to see the other ones. You know what I mean? And then I saw citrus, and I was like, ooh, citrus. I like citrus. And I had already gotten a body wash that smells like watermelon. And I'm like, I'm going to smell, like, all of the fruits. You know what I mean? It'll be great. And then I went to take a shower, and I was like, right? And I was like,
bro, this story is taking so long. I already got distracted and started thinking of other shit, and then came back to listening to you. And I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? How long has she been talking? Okay,
so I was shampooing my hair. And I was like, this doesn't smell like citrus. It smells like boy. And I was like, what the heck? And then I look at the bottle. And it says citrus and herbal musk.
Herbal.
Whatever. Musk is in a girl flavor, a girl scent. Okay, that's a boy one. It's a boy one, but my brain saw citrus, and I was like, yes, lemons and oranges and limes. I'm gonna be like citrus, but I wasn't. And now I smell like a boy because I got the same scent for shampoo and conditioner, and now I have to use it until I'm done, until it's gone. So now every time I come to my mom's house, I'm just going to smell like a guy. That's all.
What a terrible life you lead.
I know.
Anyways, speaking of mom and the terrible things she does.
Mom,
you know
what? That one. What? Okay.
You know what she was doing the other day? It was driving me fucking crazy.
Talking.
No.
Not that it would drive me crazy, but it would be something that drives him crazy. Okay.
No. So I came into town. Oh no. She came to visit me.
She came to visit him.
And I had told her I just very recently started watching The Boys, like last August. Right now it's February, so like last August-ish.
Yeah.
I started watching The Boys, and I watched the first 3 seasons, and then I had the 4th season had like just started coming out, but I hadn't seen it, right? Because I don't like starting new shows because I get addicted to them, and then that's all I want to do in my free time. But I kind of have better shit to do or shit that I should be doing. So then sometimes I'll start a show and then I watch the first 3 seasons and then I like go fucking cold turkey and I'm like, I'm not watching that shit no more. So I hadn't seen the 4th season, right?
Yeah.
But then I started telling mom about the show and I was like, nah, it's actually really good. And it's like unironically hilarious and this and that and whatever. So she started watching it and then she watched the first 3 seasons. And then she was like, oh, when we go visit Sophia in Minnesota for Christmas, we'll watch season 4. We didn't. Then she was going to come visit me and it was like, we'll watch season 4. And then she came to visit and then we did start watching season 4. And then for reasons I don't care to explain right now, I came here to El Paso and we finished watching season 4. You know what mom kept doing when we were watching The Boys?
Talking?
Yeah, but more specifically, Wait, that one
I was like, actually, like, I wasn't trying to joke. I was like, that's something that she does. Like,
more specifically,
making popcorn.
No. I don't like watching movies and TV with most of the immediate members of my family.
Oh, guessing what was gonna happen.
No, Sophia guesses what's gonna happen. Like she can't keep it to her damn self.
Accurately.
Like if there's some foreshadowing or there's a mystery or this or that, Sophia has to fucking out loud be like, it's gonna be this guy.
Because I need you to know that I was right.
Or this guy's gonna that.
I was.
And it's like you could just shut up and just let the rest of us watch the movie, and then you within yourself will know that you called it.
Well, what's the point of that?
Just knowing you were right.
No, I need you.
And I don't need to know you were right. Anyways.
I need the world to know.
Sophia can never stop guessing shit.
And being great.
Our older sister just talks in general. But it's like, it's kind of understandable because she doesn't live here. Or like when we still lived here, she didn't live here, so she would come visit, so she wants to talk to us. Fine. Just take off the movie though, right? Anyways. My mom, you know what mom kept doing? Mom kept asking me questions.
About what was...
Like it wasn't my first time seeing the fucking episode 2.
Well, maybe you were catching on to things quickly.
No!
Oh.
It wasn't like guessing questions or like predictive questions. It was like some dude shows up and she's like, Who the fuck is that guy? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I haven't seen this shit.
Okay, in mom's defense, maybe she thought like that she forgot like that he had already come out prior and she just forgot about it. So she's like, who's that?
Yeah, shut up, you fucking mom ass motherfucker. Anyways, that's a decent point. And that happened at one point. She was like, has he come out before? And I'm like, no. And she's like, who is he? And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Okay, yeah,
like,
that second one, the first one, okay, but the second one you just said that he had
that type of shit.
Okay, now.
She kept asking me questions about what's this, what's that, who's this person, who's that person. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm seeing this for the first time too. And then I started telling her, they can't see. This is me wearing a cowboy hat, doing the "What's up, brother" fucking thing, but that was like 20 years ago. Anyways, and eventually, me being me, because here's the thing about me and my mom: if my mom is driving me crazy,
they're bestie boos.
Yes, but if my mom is driving me crazy,
he'll tell her.
I'm not capable of not telling her. She's driving me crazy. And
then she cries, and he's like, why are you crying? Stop it. And then she's like, you're being so mean to me, and I just love you so much. And he's like, shut the fuck up! And she's like, why don't you love me, my baby boy? I love you so much. I put you out of my home, and this is how you treat me.
Shut the fuck up already,
you out of my
this
stomach.
Is such a long bit. Jeez.
And then he yells
Anyways, I'm not capable of not telling her. Not at this point in my life, because she drives me too crazy too often. I have to fucking address that shit, right? So then eventually I'm like, Mom, I'm seeing this for the first time too. I don't fucking know. And she's like, stop yelling at me. And I'm like, well, you keep fucking asking me questions like I'm supposed to know the answer. And here's the thing. Even if I had already seen the 4th season and she asked me those questions, she wouldn't actually want me to answer. You know what I mean? She'd be like, no, don't tell me. I'll find out. Like that kind of shit. And she's like, I'm just asking questions. And I'm like, I don't know the fucking answers. And she's like, stop yelling at me. I'm just trying to watch this with you.
See, I think I did a great representation.
She didn't cry though.
On the outside. Or in
Anyways.
front of you.
Anyways, she kept asking me questions
Later,
like
though.
I hadn't seen the shit. Like I wasn't seeing the shit for the first time.
And it was driving him
Driving
insane.
crazy.
Crazy. I was gonna do that thing I do with Cyrus. Whenever my cat yawns, I'll put like, he goes like this is his mouth. He goes, yawn, and then I'll go like that, but like I don't touch him.
Like a cross? Like
a cross like that. And so when he closes his mouth, he's like, da, da, da. And then he gets all like, what the fuck? But it's funny because like he literally has the same reaction every time. Like, you know,
it's always like, what is this?
Yeah. And I was gonna do that right now. I was like, no.
Anyways, guys, Sophia abandoned her cat.
I didn't.
I'm afraid he won't make it.
Shut up. He has an automatic feeder and a water fountain, and he has enough to last like the whole week I'm here. Plus, I have a friend who's gonna go in, because I have a friend who's gonna go in and like check up on him.
Show off.
You're like, damn. Must be nice.
Anyways.
So I did. I also got a camera, and like I've been stalking him. And then it makes me sad because I'm like, oh my god.
She has like a live feed camera on her counter.
Yeah.
That she can go.
And it could turn all the way, and then it can
she
go up
keep
and then
moving.
down. Yeah. So unless he's like in my room or in the bathroom, I don't see him. But yeah. Anywho.
Bro,
I miss him.
for real,
He's
it's
so
been a while
cute.
since we've recorded.
Uh-huh.
And I can't believe we've only been recording for 30 minutes. Like,
I'll say what I was gonna say in the beginning, you know? Okay.
you still haven't. I didn't realize you hadn't said that shit.
Yeah.
I've been talking this whole time.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's like he doesn't shut the fuck up. Except he doesn't shut the fuck up. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, I hope you guys cared about the shampoo story, because she was trying to tell me this yesterday, and I was like, bro, who fucking cares? You're gonna be here for a week.
Like I said, he doesn't shut the fuck up.
It's not even like you're gonna meet anybody. Like
I could meet the love of my life, and
and
he's
then
gonna
what?
be like,
and then what? Then you're gonna go back to
then
Minnesota.
no. I
He's
can
gonna
meet
be like,
I can meet the love.
he's gonna see you, and he's gonna walk up. And he's gonna be like,
you smell like a man.
She must be a man. And then
No,
leave.
he won't think I'm a man, but he's gonna be like, damn, you've got a man. And then like, if he's a good person, he'll walk away. You know what I mean? And then I'll be alone forever, single. You know what I mean? Me and my cat and my one friend. And she has a fiance.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Like-
she's gonna leave you. She's gonna have a family. Anyways,
I know. Anyways, back to my story.
I'll be waiting
I've
for
literally-
you on the friend on the loser side.
Anyways,
Okay, go.
I've literally had this topic in my phone because like I have like a little notes app saying like, oh, like podcasts talk about stuff, like just like little reminders, right? And I've literally have had this since like for like months, but it's not something that happened like recently. You know what I mean? It's something that I could talk about like anytime, you know? Anyways, so I'm going to talk about collectibles and also mainly how stupid I am, okay? But we're going to say it's about collectibles. So when we were still little, when we were still living in the Darrington house, that was like our...
Yes, it's our house.
Yeah, it was one of our old houses. I think we moved out, when I was like in...
It doesn't matter. Just go
No,
go
you know,
into
you
me.
need a time frame so you know how little I was, okay?
We moved out when I was a sophomore, so Sophia was in 8th grade.
I was in 8th grade. But this
We
happened
moved
when I
in-
was still like
We
in
moved
elementary
in when
school.
I was in 3rd grade, so Sophia was in 1st.
Yeah. No, I was in 2nd. Anyways,
You were in 1st.
no, I was in 2nd.
You were in 1st.
I was in 2nd.
We moved in
I
when
was
I
in
was in
2nd.
3rd grade.
I didn't start going to... You're going to bleep this out. I didn't start going until 2nd
It
grade.
doesn't matter. We lived in that house, and we're still going to Harmony.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, we did.
Nuh-uh.
And fucking Angelica would take us because mom had to work.
Nuh-uh. You remember that?
Yes, you fucking stupid ass.
Oh.
So shut up. You
I-
was in 1st grade.
You was in first grade. I hit my head too many times as a kid, so I don't remember all the details. But anyways, okay.
I don't remember a lot of things, but there's certain things that I remember.
Anyways,
you're the one that wanted to establish a time frame.
Okay.
Don't anyways me, because you're wrong.
My sister used to have this pillow, this Harry Potter pillow, because she like was obsessed with
Where
Harry Potter.
Where the fuck is this story going?
If you didn't listen, I tell you. Okay? You just need to listen. You can't shut the fuck up, okay? Anyways, she had a Harry Potter pillow, right? And then eventually she's like, oh, I'm too old for little kitty shit. I'm gonna give it to me, right? And she's like, you want this? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want it. It's got his face on it. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, it was like, it was a fabric cut, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't an actual, it wasn't like this. You know what I mean? It's like someone got like fabric and like cut the hair like in a cartoony type of like.
And sewed it on there?
And sewed it on there, yeah.
Okay.
So it was like that. And I remember, because I was like, I wasn't that big into Harry Potter at the time. But Celeste had this and she's like, you want it? I was like, yeah, I want it. And I remember thinking, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to keep this fucking pillow, okay? And then I'm going to give it to my kids. And then my kids are going to give it to their kids, okay? Remember, I think I was like in 6th grade at this point, okay? Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm going to give it to my kids are going to give it to their kids, and then they're going to go to a pawn shop, okay? And then they're going to sell it, and they're going to get so much money because this pillow with Harry Potter's face on it, it's a collectible. It doesn't matter that it was dirty and grimy.
What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
I'm telling you, this is a story about collectibles, but honestly, really about how stupid I was as a kid, okay? I was trying to make that bank, okay? No, there's more. That wasn't the first time that happened with a certain item. You know, for Christmas, when Frozen first came out, I was obsessed with it. That was like, I loved Olaf.
It was one of her movies.
It was one of my movies, right? And my mom got me this like Olaf eraser. And it was like, it had the different parts of like his body, the feet, the rocks, the nose, like, right? In a box. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to use this. I'm going to keep it. Okay? Because I had learned. My dad, he watched Pawn Shop a lot. Okay? So I learned.
Pawn Stars.
Whatever. Pawn Stars a lot. Okay? So I was like, I was like, okay, that pillow, that's not going to work out anymore. Okay? Like that's
collectible.
That's not a collectible. Or it could be, but like it's dirty. Okay? It's got some weird ass stain on his cheek. It's worn.
Not mint condition.
It's been slept on, you know? Okay? Can't do that. So this Olaf is. This is where it's going to be. This is what I'm going to give to my kids, and my kids are going to give to their kids, and their kids are going to give to their kids, and they're going to go to a pawn shop and get so much money. Okay? It'll be great.
You're fucking crazy. Sophia was literally one of these kids. Like, you know how, like, you watch cartoons and movies, and they show stories of the fucking businessman, like, growing up as kids, like Mr. Krabs. They tell the story about his life, and he was always just about fucking money. Yeah. That's literally the type of childhood Sophia had.
It is. But anyways.
But now she's not like a sleazy businessman.
I'm not. I'm in the healthcare field. Anyways. And I was like, this is it. Because I'm not going to open the box. Like, the product will be in fucking condition. It'll be it. And now, I still have it, actually. Like, if I was at my apartment, I could literally pull up the box and show you the box, okay? But the thing is, the inside is still good, but the actual
box is all fucked up.
So it's not in mint condition anymore. Sadly. But yeah, and there is that's my story that I've been like, I was like, that's funny. Like I just randomly remembered it. It was because I was like packing to like move, and I was like, aw, like this is cute. I remember when I thought that. I was like, I also thought that about the Harry Potter pillow. I was like, I'm gonna tell Oscar that.
Do you have the Harry Potter pillow?
No, I don't have that anymore.
Where the fuck did that go?
I don't fucking know. Not to my kids. But yeah.
Now their kids are gonna be poor.
Isn't that funny?
It's funny. You're fucking insane.
No, yeah, like literally in there's a story about when I was. Have you told the story
about the chips?
The chips, no. I was gonna tell the story with like the ring pop and like when I was in 5th grade with Peter Piper like prizes. You don't know that one?
I don't know that story.
Girl,
yet another story of Sophia.
Okay, I was in 5th grade. I was in 5th grade. Okay, we went to Peter Piper, right? For
If you don't know what Peter Piper is,
you're a loser.
I'm sorry, you didn't have a good childhood.
Yeah,
And
it's a better Chuck E.
and
Cheese.
you didn't grow up in the Southwest United States. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so it's a pizza place, right? But they have like little arcade.
Yeah, it's like Chuck E. Cheese, but it's better.
Yeah, they have an arcade. You get tickets. You can go use the tickets to buy toys, right? So I went and I did that, right? My mom, she bought the coins. I didn't buy the coins, right? She bought the coins. And so like I went, I played the games. I got the tickets. I went. They had like shitty ass little toys, you know? I was like,
fucking bullshit.
But like I'm gonna buy shit.
Army men.
But I was thinking in the future, okay? I was thinking further than these shitty ass toys. I was like, because I'm too smart to actually prize these shitty ass toys, but I'm gonna get them. I was in 5th grade, okay? You can ask my mom. It's true. I was in 5th grade. I went to school, okay? And then I was like, hey, you want to buy this toy for 25 cents? Because like people would have like quarters.
Toys that you got from Peter Piper.
From Peter Piper. And then I would sell the toys, right? And then I would get $1. And I remember I would do this because outside of our school, they have paletas, which are, how do you say that in English?
Popsicles.
Popsicles.
That's so funny because you didn't just learn the word popsicles right now. Like you're not one of those Mexicans who doesn't know words in English.
Didn't know.
You just didn't know that was the same thing. Like
They had paletas. And they were $1.
But they're typically like more like fruit based.
Fruit-based paletas. Yeah.
No, just fruit
Or just fruit-based.
popsicles.
Yeah,
popsicles can just be fucking.
Oh yeah.
Like whatever cherry fucking grape
My
flavor.
favorite was lime.
They're more specifically like
yeah.
they're like if you made like good popsicles with like actual fruit chunks in there and shit like that.
It was good. Anyways, they had those and they would sell them after school for $1. But like we didn't grow up like
we didn't have
rich.
$1 to buy a popsicle.
You know what I
every
mean?
day
Yeah,
school.
we didn't do that. But I wanted a popsicle. Okay, so I got these toys. I sold them for 25 cents each. These shitty ass little army guys or whatever. Bullshit Peter Piper toys. Because I was like, I wouldn't buy it for 25 cents, but you know who would? My classmates.
All you fucking schmucks.
So I would sell them, get the money, and then I would go and I would buy the paletas. But the thing is, mom has told the story because I would do that, right? But my friend one time, she had like ring pops. Like she just like, she was like, hey, you want? I was like, oh yeah, thanks. I didn't want a ring pop. Okay. I sold it for $1. And you know what I got with that? A paleta.
Fucking insane.
5th grade.
Fucking crazy. So here's the problem. She couldn't just ask my mom for a fucking $1.
Because I felt bad.
We had to go to Peter Piper. My mom had to turn the $1 into tokens. Sophia had to play the games, win the tickets, buy the prizes, go back to school, sell the prizes. Then she would arrive at her fucking $1 so she could get her fucking
And when
$1.
that was too much work, I would go into my sister's coin bank and steal from her. My sister, she used to have a bunch of dollar coins. She had a shit ton of dollars.
You would steal the... I remember.
And I was like, because in my head, I was like, I'll take just $1 coin because that's just one coin.
It's less noticeable.
It's less noticeable instead of taking 4 quarters or however many nickels and dimes and pennies or whatever.
Our older sister had like a piggy bank, and for some reason, how the fuck did she get all the dollar coins?
I don't remember.
She had a bunch of dollar coins.
She had a bunch. For
no fucking reason. So this dingus would go steal her money and steal the dollar coins because it's like, what's more noticeable, 1 coin or 4 coins?
Exactly, but the funny thing is, and I didn't know this until recently because I confessed to Celeste. She's like, I always thought it was Oscar.
Hot fucking dickhead.
And I was like, but yeah. So whenever we didn't go to Peter Piper, so I can sell coins, or my friends didn't give me a
whenever
ring pop,
mom fucked up the hustle.
for me, I would just steal. That's how I grew up.
I didn't remember that story, bro.
Yeah, what's the chips one?
You used to sell chips and candy and shit
Oh,
in middle
yeah.
school.
Oh yeah,
I don't
in
know
middle
if you guys.
school.
It was fair. It was halfway common in the middle schools and high schools we went to. I don't know about you guys, but you know how there was that one kid who like had all their backpack and all their school shit, and then they had a duffel bag, not
With
because
chips.
they played any sports, but because it was filled with chips and candy and shit. and then they would just
Sell
sell
it.
fucking chips to their classmate.
Yeah.
Hold on. Are we sounding like really fucking Mexican right now?
We might.
The fact that was like a kind of normal thing in our schools that we went to?
We might. I don't know.
Cause I
know
was
how
just thinking
normal
about it.
Americans
Bro,
do.
I was just thinking about it and I'm like, you know how like when you cross the border and there's just a bunch of Mexicans selling shit?
Oh yeah, they like
everybody?
harass the car. They're like trying to clean the
like
windshield, and you're
cleaning
like, nah,
windshield,
bitch,
or they have
nah.
chips, or they have fucking all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever been on the border of the U.S. and Mexico, but if you cross the border like driving on your car on the bridge and shit, there's gonna be a bunch of fucking Mexicans selling shit.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking about it.
Forcefully.
Right now I'm telling the story and I'm like, yeah, like all of the little fucking Mexicans had bags of fucking chips that they were selling at school.
There was this one guy who would sell tamales. That shit was fire.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember it? It was the theater kid.
No.
He might have graduated already.
I don't remember that.
Nah,
at
he
all.
would sell tamales.
I wouldn't buy shit
They were
often from people,
fire.
so I didn't necessarily know like who had what. But you know, because Mexicans are never too young to have a job, so they would sell chips and shit. And Sophia, being the fucking money hungry motherfucker, she clearly is.
I wanted to be in flags, right? But that cost money.
That happened when you were in middle school.
That
too?
happened when I was in middle school.
Oh my god.
That was why. No, you don't remember? Yeah, I would.
I didn't know that was why.
Okay, listen. No, in middle school, this happened both in middle school and high school. In middle school, dude, yeah. Oh my god,
I knew that's why for Crossman.
Nah, listen, middle school. Okay, middle school. I had a bag, and we would go to Juarez, right, to Mexico. And we would buy candy there because it was just cheaper to like buy it there and like sell it for a profit, right? And so we'd go.
And it was the Mexican candy. That all the Mexicans in our hometown love.
Fire, right? Anyways, so I went, right? And then I had my bag, but you weren't allowed to sell, at least in the middle school, not so much in high school, but in middle school, you weren't allowed to be like selling shit, you know? So I had to do it like under the table, like discreetly, okay?
Like a dealer.
Like a dealer, yeah. And I did really good, you know? I was able to pay for like the program and shit. But I got caught, Oscar. I got caught by a fucking monitor lady, okay? But the thing is, I
swear we've told this story. Tell it anyways.
I would log my candies. Like, I would know.
Sophia had an inventory.
I had an inventory.
And she would fucking.
Yeah, I straight up had an inventory.
Track
I was
in
like,
and out and shit.
I had taken 5 mazapans to school today. I had taken fucking 6 of like whatever, right? I remember mazapans specifically because I went after they confiscated my bag. They're like, nah, bitch, you can't be doing that. They're like, you can come get it after school. And I was like, all right. So after school, I went and I got it, right? But then I was looking through my bag and I was missing a mazapan. Okay, this fucking fat bitch said, you can't be selling this shit, but like, I'm gonna take one. And she didn't even pay for it. She didn't even put the money like in the pocket or anything. She just stole a mazapan. And she thought she was gonna get away with it, but I had an inventory. Okay, I was so pissed.
Oh, you called her out on it? I always thought this story was that like she just stole it and you were just pissed and that was the end of it. Like,
that was the end of it. But I knew about it.
Oh, but then she did get away with it. If you didn't rat on her or anything.
I told mom, but like I wasn't supposed to be selling candy. So mom was like, no,
yeah, but still.
Let's just drop it. And I was like, I guess. But anyways, so yeah, I did that in middle school, right? And then in high school, I sold candy bags, right? And I also sold flautas.
You sold candy bags?
Yeah.
When? Your senior year?
Yeah, that happened the same time as the flautas. I would make.
You sell candy bags?
I would sell candy bags.
Oh, I thought you just did the flautas.
No.
There's a lot.
Anyways, I was that kid who would sell shit. Yeah, everyone thought I was gonna get into like real estate or
Sophia's whole life, all of us thought she was gonna be like not necessarily. Well, I mean,
like a businessman,
saleswoman.
Into that because I'm good at it.
Sales,
like I'm good at selling shit.
It's
just not where my passions lie.
I thought I was gonna say like sleazy businessman, but I was like, no, I don't think anybody thought she was gonna be sleazy. But that's inaccurate. I definitely would think you'd be a bit sleazy. Mom, being mom, would be like, no, she's not sleazy. She just and she'd come up with some bullshit.
I'm just smart.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
no, who knows? Maybe like if I'm ever like I'm done with stenography, I don't want to do that.
Well, I don't know if you remember, we have cousins. I have 2 cousins that have their own like clothing brands that they like. I mean, not necessarily are trying to. I don't know how actively they're trying to get it off the ground, but they have some shirts that they've made and they have designs and this and that and whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And just recently, I always say recently. I think everything after high school was recent. Like it hasn't been fucking 8 years. Anyways,
recently.
like 4 or 5 years ago, I was having a conversation with them and we were talking about this and that and whatever. And then at some point you came up and they don't know Sophia that well, so they think she's like a sweetheart.
I'm a sweet angel baby.
Anyways, and then for some reason you came up in conversation and then I mentioned that you had already graduated.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, she's not in high school anymore? And I was like, no, motherfucker, she's Josh's age. Like,
yeah. That's
Josh isn't in high school either. Like, and they were like, fuck. Both of them. And I was like, what? And they were like, dude, we were so like banking on giving Sophia a bunch of our clothes and her hustling ass selling that shit at school and like fucking helping get the business off the ground.
That's so funny.
And they're like, cause she fucking sells shit at school, like the chips and all that shit. And I was
because it was like known like in my family. Like
Sophia's the only one that consistently did that type of shit.
Yeah.
Growing up. And they were like, fuck, bro, like we missed out. Like we were fucking banking on that shit. And I'm like, you fucking idiots, she's been graduated for like 2 years. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, that shit was funny. All right. I think that's good for now. Cause I mean, don't have very high stakes for these videos.
We have the highest stakes. This video better go viral. We better get like a bajillion followers and like half a bajillion comments.
You sound retarded. Have you seen?
You can't say that word.
Have you seen the Sterniolo triplets? And they have this thing where like when they want to, I don't know if it's still a thing, but it was a thing at some point. If they want to express like a large number instead of saying bajillion, they'll just say like some random shit and then end it in illion, like gobsmillion, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit?
I haven't seen that shit, but I do know who the triplets are.
Anyways, I kind of started watching them a little while ago. I haven't watched them recently, but I watched them for like a good little period of time. And they were doing that shit. And then I remembered Samira would do that.
Yeah.
Because she would come and visit and she was like, yeah, it was like a gobsmillion. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
And she was like, a gobsmillion? And I was like, that's not a number, bro. How much is that? And she was like, yo, you don't know like the Sterniolo triplets? And I was like, oh, I know who they are. And she's like, well, that's like a thing that they do. And she said it. Mm-hmm. So then when I started watching them like a year ago,
and you saw it,
they were doing it, and I was like, oh yeah, Samira would do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that reminded me because you said bajillion.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for today's episode, guys. We hope you liked it. Let me know if you want Oscar to like stop talking like as much. Okay, I'll gladly talk more. If you do like Oscar talking that much, you got issues. I don't know, like go to therapy or something. Anyways,
she's not joking. She's mean.
That's it. No, I am joking. Ow, don't step on my pinky toe. That's it for today. We hope you liked it. If you didn't, go watch someone